Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about The Mighty Thor, or just Thor, Epic Collection Volume 2, When Titans Clash. There's only been one printing of this Epic Collection, and that was all the way back in 2016. I think this was ranked in like the top 10 on this year in 2025's reprint poll, Marvel Epic Collection reprint poll. I first thought this was going to be the cover to Annual 1, because Annual 1 is in here, but this is issue like 129 or something, or no, 127 or 8, I don't know. This has the first appearance of the Absorbing Man. Now, yeah, Absorbing Man, a lot of people I'm sure think of him as a Hulk villain because he was the villain of the 2003 movie, or well, it wasn't really him, they just named his dad the Absorbing Man, but he was also the main Hulk villain they used in the Hulk premiere episode for the cartoon show Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But no, he first appeared as a Thor villain, a lot of it. And you get it here. So this collects Journey in the Mystery 110 to 125 in Annual 1. And then the title of Journey in the Mystery was changed to just say Thor. And then it goes to issues 126 to 130. And Brand Ek issue 3 goes into almost the end of 1966 when Titans Clash. And this was just as good as a read as the last one. I mean, I thought it got a little bit worse as I went on, by the way. Hey, you can see how little Epic Collections there were at the time in 2016. Look at that. I like how they have the Thor's hammer. I don't know if that's in any of the panels in this collection, but it's written there. And each one of these has a storyline, a 5-issue story at the end of the comic that happens in the past. And yes, it starts off with this awesome team. Again, the Cobra and Mr. Hyde fight Thor. He loses his hammer in a giant machine. Oh, this is a flashback story. Oh, here's a pinup. And he needs to get help, and he eventually stops him at first. Thor, issue 111. Balder the Brave throws his sword to help Thor out fighting these two. These Tales of Asgard stories I don't really like, but... Oh, maybe this isn't the story where Thor gets trapped in the machine. He gets trapped in their house, though, and their house is full of dangers. It's kind of weird for me to flip through these because it's either going to be Tales of Asgard or the actual mainline Thor story, and it's going to be confusing if I have a panel that's not the mainline Thor, and I talk about mainline Thor. Or, sorry, modern-day Thor and 60s, whatever. You get what I mean. This actual story that's happening, I want to have those pages, not the Tales of Asgard, until I talk about Tales of Asgard. He fights Cobra, Mr. Hyde. I think they both get away in the end. And there's this sort of story. Oh, this is the worst comic in the collection. I'm sorry, but issue 112. This just shows more of a fight between Thor and the Hulk, which happened in Avengers issue 3. That's honestly all this is. It's just basically a flashback story. Okay, Grey Gargoyle returns, one of my favorite Marvel... I don't know. I mean, I really like this character. I've only read about 4, 5, 6 issues of him being a villain forever, so... And each time, it's amazing. Thor survives the attack. And in the next issue, the Absorbing Man. So yeah, just one banger appearance after another when it comes to villains. Absorbing Man, of course, gets his power from Loki. I think the Wrecker does as well, if I remember right. He's able to absorb everything, and he doesn't even have to touch it himself. He just gets touched with it. And he can also absorb Thor's power. He can also turn into a whirlwind if he touches someone, becoming a whirlwind, etc. So that's actually a really cool addition. Sorry, I'm so excited. I think he's more powerful in here than I remember him being in the future. Although it doesn't make sense, because one story he absorbs Hulk's powers, gamma radiation, he explodes or something. I don't know. But there's this reporter that stumbles upon Thor's secret identity, and he sort of blackmails Thor to take him into Asgard. Anyway, then Loki teams up with Absorbing Man to try and take over the Thor's place. Enchantress and the Executioner appear for 1 or 2 issues to threaten Jane Foster, so Thor just has to do what Loki says. Then Loki throws a stone that he used to cheat. He was in this competition with Thor to basically get to the end of a trial. We had to go through dangerous areas to survive, and Loki cheated. Anyway, Anyway, then we get the first appearance of the Destroyer armor. And it actually is a little bit different here, if I remember it, especially compared to the movie, where an actual human being swaps places with the Destroyer armor or swaps minds with it. But Thor threatens to kill the guy's original body if he doesn't if he doesn't leave the Destroyer armor. And then the Destroyer armor gets destroyed and buried in a place yet again that, I forget how it comes back. Let's see. Oh, they also tease Ragnarok. Okay, this is the stories where Loki and the Absorbing Man go to Asgard and they argue with each other. Thor goes on a mission, and this is when we really get to see Volstagg. Oh gosh, the sword guy Fandel. I think he was played by Zachary Levi. Oh, Annual 1 is here now. Thor accidentally stumbles upon Olympus and fights Hercules. They're basically evenly matched. Anyway, yeah, for some reason they put Annual 1 in between issues 120 and 121. I don't know, because it's literally in the middle of a fight scene. Like, oh, okay. Observer is actually a kind of a fun character to read, him talking and fight. Yeah, there's a lot of him in here. Almost. Oh, we are over halfway there. What's going on? Okay, enter Hercules. After this, this was when it started going downhill, because it was so easy and fast to read, but it was just Hercules and Thor fighting, because Hercules he liked Jane Foster. This whole issue right here is just them fighting. And the Tales of Asgard stuff isn't that entertaining either. Thor gets beat because Odin was mad that Thor did something. Oh yeah, he revealed his identity to Jane Foster in this. And so Odin stripped Thor of half of his power. He saves Asgard from a betrayer. The betrayer basically just gives up, actually. Anyway, in this issue, a character called Pluto, who's like the leader of the underworld, besides, it's not Ares anymore. Ares only makes like a 4-panel appearance saying, no, I'm not going to take that again, Hercules. You have to do it. Well, Thor battles for Hercules. This is Ares right here. I don't know if it's the exact same one from the future comics, the one who joins the Dark Avengers. Oh yeah. So I'm going to go talk about the Tales of Asgard here. Loki is told to Odin that he is the one who's going to bring about Ragnarok. So they throw him in a stasis chamber. This is the last issue of it. In July, Pluto decides to take back control because Thor fighting would destroy his, everything is built in the underworld. There we go. These three. Hogan. I forget this guy's name, and Volstagg. The Warriors 3, basically, first appearances here. And in the funny comedy series, not Brand Eck and whatnot. Then we get pictures of the Marvel Masterworks covers, including the first two, even though I don't know why they weren't included in the first Epic collection. Anyway, I'm going to say I do like Volume 1 more, but this, especially the first 2/3 of it, was amazing. All the first appearances of so many villains and return of so many villains I really, really like. I mean, that's all I have to say. Oh yeah, there's a part with the Teen Brigade trying to get Thor's attention because Enchantress and the Executioner are on Earth. Daredevil just passes them by. They try to get help from the Baxter Building. That's when we see the Frightful Four here. So yeah, Sandman makes an appearance in one panel here, but it's just one of those going around. This is when Thor... Oh no, this is Tales of Asgard. Anyway, Thor also helps like 2 times. He goes to a different country and helps people. This guy destroys part of communist China because he betrayed his family, and Thor helped him see the light. I actually like this moment where Loki tries to trick one of the guards into letting him free, but they figure out his plan and stop him. And the reason he was trying to get free was to save Thor from being killed by the Destroyer armor, because he was the one who caused the Destroyer armor to be found again. And, well, since it seems Thor might be killed by the Destroyer, he decides to not have that happen, because he knows he would get in trouble with Odin. Was it in this story right here? No, I think it might have been earlier. There's like a story where Thor gets framed for a bank robbery. I think it might have been done by the Grey Gargoyle, if I remember though. Or it was the Absorbing Man's first appearance. Oh yeah, and during the Grey Gargoyle's return here, believe it or not, Don Blake kind of goes hero mode and helps until he manages to have Great Gargoyle turn himself into a statue, basically. I don't know how that works. He's already a statue, but I guess he coated himself in the stone. They also do a play-by-play of his origin story. La 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 la. That is it. So, that's Thor Epic Collection Volume 2. Definitely need a reprint of it. And that's all I have to say for now. So, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.